Here was George Herbert Walker Bush when he just turned 20. After risking his life for his country on numerous bomber missions, he was shot down and rescued at 20. What was I doing at 20? Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm not what you call a poster boy for heroism. I have flat feet and would give you up for a slice of pound cake. Now, it's easy to draw comparisons between then and now. 16 million Americans fought in World War II. Today, 16 million people watch this.
Yeah, I mean, no, that is rude. I've given you so much of my time, my energy, my heart, you bitch. Oh seriously? Wow. No, I've given you everything, Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa! Yeah! Now, that's no dig at now. It's just to point out a connection between two eras. That all of our entertainment and leisure time was enabled by the bravery of people you might never have met. If you have one of the 16 million in your clan, I salute you. You're lucky. They made my idiocy possible. To quote John Kerry in a tweet that he sent to me, "Happy Veterans Day, Greg. I'm glad that all of us who served in uniform fought to defend your freedom to be a complete fool on Twitter." No. For once, the Driftwood Dracula was right. The only reason why I can be a fool today is because someone was a hero yesterday. So thanks, John. To quote one of your special friends.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, now all you've got to do is call. Got a friend.
Oh, when he had hair. Looking back is sweet, but the price of nostalgia is forgetting the present. Today, brave men and women do outstanding work protecting you and me, our military, law enforcement, border police, and patrol. So do not mistakenly believe this is a generation of video gaming sofa surfers. Fact is, men and women die every day for this country. Although at times, it's hard to remind yourself that the rest of us aren't all idiots. Check out this tweet from Slate about Bush's service dog. Quote, Sully H.W. Bush is a service dog who had been with the president for 6 months, not his lifelong companion. Now imagine being that writer, questioning whether Bush's dog deserved all that attention. Yep, today I'm going to put that mutt in its place. Excuse me, lifelong companion? Sully isn't 94 years old. That's Slate. Sorry, Slate. Sully can't feel your hot take. Like the rest of the world, he doesn't read Slate. He could, but he doesn't. He's a dog, a smart dog. Well, for one more day, you were a rat, a silly, silly rat. Meanwhile, others in the media kept an eagle eye on Trump. My God, what was up with his jacket?
He walks into the National Cathedral. The other presidents are seated. He is wearing his overcoat. He takes it off and hands said crumpled overcoat to the young Marine officer who was acting as his escort. What's going on there?
Why didn't he just leave the overcoat in the back of the seat?
I kind of hand it to Brian, always focusing on the big picture. When he isn't busy making up crap. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't say he was there while looking at the footage. You can't see me, but I'm right behind Trump. They're so obsessed with Trump, though, they missed the coolest thing. You got to check this beard out. You see this beard coming? Imagine what you could hide in that beard. I could hide in that beard. That's an Oak Ridge boy, by the way. I could hide in there for weeks. Meanwhile, others use the funeral as another excuse to trash the president.
What's really going on right now is a national reaction to Trump. No matter what we say or don't say, it's a reaction to what we have. And we miss the better. We miss that part of decency and honor.
Thanks, Chris. He's more off base than a drunk shortstop. Here's a Washington Post headline. At President Bush's funeral, Trump sits with fellow presidents, but still stands alone. Obviously, that's a lie. Even I can't stand and sit at the same time. And so even in a time of reverence and unity, they miss the point and obsess on their obsession. If only Trump's head would sprout horns, spin around, and spew fire. But what do you expect? If Trump didn't go, he'd get slammed. He does go, he gets slammed. What's really ironic about all of this, what did these funerals celebrate most? When you thought of Mr. Bush, what did you think most about? Patriotism, duty, family, faith. Isn't that the stuff that's openly mocked today by pop culture, the media, academia? There are more people who believe the earth is flat than believe in anything. And yet this week, those were the things that mattered. Weird, isn't it? When you're looking at death, you're not thinking about identity or jackets or the resume of a service pet. I hope we've learned something. I mean, think about this. President George Herbert Walker Bush fought in World War II. He flew 58 combat missions. He was shot down, rescued. Then he turned 21. Think about that. Later, he ran the CIA, he helped end the Cold War, and rescued Kuwait from Iraq. Yet in 1992, he still lost to Bill Clinton, just as Bob Dole did 4 years later. Why? Because his amazing life put him at a certain age. No war heroes, please. We'll take that young philanderer. We thought it over and decided. So the same people who make shallow decisions about you made one about him. You just gotta laugh. That's the other big message here. Bush was funny. Here's proof.
It's the last statement I'm going to have on broccoli. There are truckloads of broccoli at this very minute descending on Washington. My family is divided. I do not like broccoli, and I haven't liked it since I was a little kid. And my mother made me eat it. And I'm president of the United States, and I'm not going to eat any more broccoli.
When we talk about vanishing heroism, don't forget vanishing humor. Humor is what holds this whole operation, civilization, together. The only way to celebrate hate, though, is to shame, censor humor from the world. Jokes connect people, so eliminate them, and we won't be falling on the floor laughing. We'll just be falling on the floor. It's why the real heroes don't just fight communism and Hitler, but also people who can't take a damn joke. Those humorless creeps seem to be everywhere and reproducing. So as we gain that kind of noxious non-hero, we lose men like Bush. According to the Department of Veteran Affairs, roughly 496,777 American veterans were estimated to still be alive as of September 2018. What's that tell you? They're still here, 500,000 of them. They're not making more. And we should make it a point to talk with them, learn from them, and share a laugh with them. Because this week we lost at least one, and we're going to lose more. And that, friends, is no joke. Period. Let's welcome tonight's guests. He's more country than a mud flap made of Daisy Dukes. From the duo Big and Rich, singer and songwriter John Rich. If jokes were smokes, he'd be the Marlboro Man. Comedian Jimmy Fallon. Nice jacket. The co-hostess with the mostest, National Review reporter Kat Timpf. He's responsible for most solar eclipses. Former WWE superstar, my massive sidekick, and host of Un-PC on Fox Nation, Tyrus. All right.
Great to see you.
Thank you, thank you. I love how you're dressed today.
Thank you.
John.
Merry Christmas,
yes.
Eric.
Oh, I'm not talking about you, an extra from New Kids on the Block. You came in the holiday spirit.
Well, I did. It's Merry Christmas time, you know?
Yes, it is.
And I would just like to give a shout-out to my 86-year-old Granny Rich, who watches your show. She smokes a pack of Marlboro Reds every single day and drinks a little whiskey every night, still pulls a 40-hour a week, and she made this jacket and the jeans.
Wow. So what you're saying is if I smoke a pack of cigarettes and drink a lot of booze, I could become an excellent seamstress.
It's possible. It's possible. Actually, I wrote a song about my grandfather, who was a World War II vet. He was in the Pacific. He was a tunnel rat. So he's a little guy. He's about 115. He joined at 17, lied about his age so he could go fight. And we've heard a lot of those stories. He had 6 Purple Hearts. And he went over to the Pacific and fought, and I wrote a song about him called The Good Lord and the Man. And on George Bush's 85th birthday, I sang that song, but I missed him because he was jumping out of an airplane on his 85th birthday. And then he called me back, and I was on a stage playing a Big and Rich concert. And he left me this incredible voicemail thanking me for the song. And I'm so glad that I missed his call because now I have that message. But
That's true, and you played it for me.
I
so
did.
it's real.
It's real.
Or it's Dana Carvey.
That's right. But the World War II guys, Greg, they literally saved the world. And when you know that there's less than 500,000 of those guys left around, if you ever get a chance to see one of those men, shake their hand, give them a big old hug, say thank you for what you did for our country. I mean, Hitler was coming after us. They bombed Pearl Harbor. They were coming from both sides. America stood up, showed its might, and ran them off.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Jimmy, after talking about the greatest generation, how do you feel about yourself?
Right now? I gotta be honest. I thought this looked good when I walked out of the house today. I actually walked like feeling like $1 million, and then I caught like a long shot mirror on the subway.
Yeah.
I look like a stripper who let himself go. You know what I mean? I call this look the tragic Mike. This is my tragic Mike look. But to your point, I am scared about us losing the greatest generation because the country is going in a scary direction where we are kind of, incentivizing these kids to be wusses. And that's why I always think, like, in New York, it's kind of funny as a cultural thing that we'll make fun of what we would call Southern rednecks because that's like a stereotypical thing to do. But I thank God for them because they're the only people raising tough kids anymore. Like, with me. If ISIS shows up tomorrow, you're not calling Hudson, Hopper, and Zane. You know what I'm saying? You're calling Bobby, Joe, Bubba, and Cletus. Right. And they're going to take ISIS out using rifles they got for their 10th birthday. That's how it's going to go down. So I'm with Mr. Rich.
All right, Kat, thoughts?
Granny Rich.
First of all, I just loved that photo of the service dog laying in front of the casket.
Yeah.
Like, how dare anyone make fun of that?
What is this person thinking?
Because it's just like dogs are so great. Like, if I ever die, which I may.
Yes, it could happen.
I don't know.
My cat would walk up and lay down next to me, but it would be to eat my face. So.
That's a cat.
But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be using it anyway. But,
Yes. And you know what? It's almost like you're sacrificing yourself.
Yeah, I suppose, which makes me almost a military hero.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. I'm very grateful for all the veterans because personally, based on the amount of anxiety I get from, like, Jenga, I couldn't go to war.
No, neither. I'm about as furthest from that as you could be. Tyrus, thoughts?
Like I said, I thought it was a great week to remember what's important in this country. I thought George Bush Jr., his speech on his father was powerful and amazing, and it really, I don't have a dad, but if I did, I would hopefully talk about him like that. That was like, wow, I need to get one of those, but it might be too late. Like, wow, dads do all that? Wow. So it was kind of cool. And then at the same time, like, I did a lot of laughing. Like, the president, if he doesn't go to the funeral, he's the worst man on the planet.
Yeah.
He goes to the funeral, reaches over and shakes the hand of an adversary.
Yeah.
Classy move. Obama classily shook his hand back, and he still was the worst man in the world.
Yeah.
We just can't win with you. I mean, it's just that was the story, not this amazing funeral.
Right.
It's time for everyone to forget about divisions in politics. They still were like, no, we need a Trump story. What do you got? Well, he did shake hands with Obama. That's let's do it.
Yeah.
Run it. I mean, that's where we're at, and it's shameful.
The other thing I learned, and we got to move on, but about planning your own funeral, that's a lot of pressure. And George Bush, he wrote half of his own the plan. I have one page. I came up with it. Don't drop the ashes. This will be on mine. Don't drop the ashes. Don't invite anyone from Maroon 5. Open bar, but no fancy drinks, because I don't like lines. You know, they should be really quick, and it should be a weekday, so you can take a day off. Because I'm always giving.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.